All right, you've heard me discuss in the past things that I don't recommend for a registry, and you can watch that video here. But what do I recommend having for your baby registry? Or what do I recommend as must-have items for a new baby? Stay tuned to find out. Hi everyone, I'm Dr. Amna Husain, board certified pediatrician, board certified lactation consultant, and mom. I'm mom to two and expecting my third little one right now. And honestly, I don't think we've had too much for our registry. In fact, we don't have a registry for the second one or the third one now, because whatever I've needed, I've just kind of been able to reuse, or we'll just figure it out along the way. Especially like, for example, car seats, if they've expired, we'll buy new ones. But generally, if you're having your first baby, I know that that is very daunting and a lot of people want to get you gifts. So having a registry in place is not a bad idea, especially if you have the resources, the chance, the space to think of a couple of great things, great items that you think you might need. However, I will say that a lot of people will say you'll need this and you'll need this and you definitely need that. And sometimes you don't need all of that. So here's the thing. As a pediatrician, I'm going to say that really all you need is a car seat and a safe place for the baby to sleep. Done. That's it. That is really all you need. Now, the other stuff is just icing on the cake. A lot of brands will say this is something you must have, and the parenting industry is pretty unregulated, I feel like. Marketing claims can be made left and right, and there's no necessarily accuracy behind them. So instead, consider the fact that you might end up cloth diapering and you had a lot of diapers on your registry, or vice versa. You thought you were going to cloth diaper and instead that didn't work out and you have gone back to disposable diapers. You might think that you need tons and tons and tons of burp cloths because that's what everyone told me, and then I ended up with a baby who never spit up. I mean, they came in handy the second time around when I had a baby who did spit up, but this is something to consider. Or you might think that you're going to be nursing and put a ton of nursing items on your registry and then end up switching to an exclusive pumper, which was my situation. And then I had to buy a whole lot of other host of items just to support my exclusive pumping journey. When your nursing journey ends, and it might end very early, you might end up needing more formula feeding supporting items. So generally on your registry, just keep in mind that we have all these thoughts and aspirations and what we think it's going to be like when we have a baby, and we're taking everybody's advice, but every child is different and your parenting journey is your parenting journey. So when it comes to what you safely and definitely need as a pediatrician, I'm going to say again, those two things: a car seat and a safe place for baby to sleep. That being said, I know you didn't come here just to hear those two things. So let's get on to what are my must-have items. Now, because we just talked about a car seat, I am going to emphasize and say that yes, that is definitely one I recommend for a registry. And here is why. Even if you live in New York City or in Washington, D.C., and you're in a super walkable area and you think, I definitely probably don't need a car seat, there will be times when you will have to put the baby in a car or a taxi or an Uber and go from one area to another, whether it be catching a flight, whether it be going on the other side of town to meet somebody. You definitely will need to invest in having a car seat. It's a safe way to transport baby. Now, please remember, infants need to be rear facing until at least 2 years of age. This doesn't have to do with their size. It has nothing to do with the length of their legs. It has to do with the ossification or the hardening of the bones in their cervical spine or the spine that's really on the back of their neck. So for safety reasons and for head impact reasons, during, God forbid, a car accident, we want them rear facing for as long as possible, but at least until 2. So number one item was a car seat. And this is definitely an expensive item. I've talked before about things that you can reuse and possibly recycle and refurbish from other people. If you are gonna have a baby, what are things that you can kind of recycle and reuse? And you can check out that video here. But Just remember that this is one of the more expensive items. If you choose to purchase one brand new, that's great because you're usually able to get it for at least 5 years. And you can buy a convertible car seat so that after 2 years of life, if you choose to flip them around and have them forward facing, you can still use that car seat. Now, let's move on to the second must-have item that I recommend for a registry, and I give that must-have with air quotes and a big asterisk because this is not necessary, but it's definitely convenient, a stroller. Now, please remember with item number 1, I mentioned a car seat. Sometimes strollers come along with them, and when they come along together as a car seat and a stroller, they're called a travel system because oftentimes the stroller frame can just allow the car seat to click in. And that is really easy, especially if you are a parent who lives in a very walkable city. That is a great way to transport baby. And so yes, you would still need the car seat. Now, as you can imagine with a stroller, particularly one that is part of the travel system, they can be a little bit more costly. And honestly, sometimes buying the car seat with the stroller can be a little bit more of a discount. Again, the two work together really nicely. Now, these are strollers that are typically a lot more bulkier because they do have to have a sturdy framework to allow the car seat to click in. So this is not your umbrella stroller that you might be thinking of, the one that folds up and is super easy to transport. This one, yes, usually does fold up. It is a little bit bulkier, something to consider. And again, the cost is something to consider. That's why it makes it a great item for perhaps a baby registry, because if you do have family that's involved and would really like to buy you the more expensive items on your registry, or friends who'd like to pitch in and then buy you something collectively, this would be a great item to put on the registry. Items that may not be as expensive, but definitely useful, and this is again something that's more of the parent side of things and less the pediatrician side, is a zipper onesie. Now, people are going to put all types of cute items and clothing on there, and you may or may not want to dress your baby in a hat, depending on what season your baby's born in. Or you may or may not want to dress your baby in socks, and I definitely think mittens are not necessary, and they're going to get lost and fall off the hands anyway. But onesies are definitely one of the most useful items, especially because we talk about avoiding overbundling baby, right? So just one layer in addition to probably what you're wearing. And I think a zipper onesie is super helpful to be able to do that. However, more importantly, is it's super convenient when it comes to changing diapers, cloth diapering or disposable diapering, feeds in the middle of the night, etc. When you're trying to take care of baby, do a clothing change, zipper onesies, especially the two-way zipper onesies, are fantastic. 10 out of 10 recommend. They're so great. Even if you think that you might not need them in the later days as baby gets older, just add a couple of newborn or 0 to 3 month old ones. And you will definitely, I think, benefit and feel like these were the best things ever invented, especially after you've had a few of those small little button ones, because your fingers just give up and get tired of them at the end. All right, the last item, and I think this one is probably one that I wish everybody would gift a new parent, are meal subscriptions or gift cards. And I really am a fan of just like online ordering services, like whether it be like a Walmart or a Target or Amazon gift card, because you are constantly going to be needing things in those first few days of life, first few weeks, and trying to get out for groceries or trying to figure out meal prep. It's so tough. So something like a meal subscription is great. If you have someone who's able to run out and buy a couple of things, that's great. But if you're adjusting to being a new parent, everybody is a little discombobulated and a little lost. Having the option of having a few gift cards to choose from, whether it be Amazon and you're able to buy a couple of zipper onesies, or express order some diapers from Walmart, or pick up some formula from Target, you can have a few of those gift cards and be able to online order really quickly and get it shipped to your door, or use them again at the store if someone's able to run out for you. I really do think these are great because sometimes you don't know what you need until you're in the moment, right? We already talked about that. You could get burp clots and then your baby never spits up. You could get nursing items and then you switch to formula. There's so many different caveats out there. So this way, the new parents can choose themselves how they choose to use that nice gift card or meal subscription that you got them. I hope this was helpful. I know it's a little bit of a deviance from the general pediatric content we talked about, but it was super important to talk about the safety of what you actually need and the practicality of things you might like to have. And obviously, we've already talked about things that I don't recommend or things that aren't necessary. I would love it if you commented below and let me know what you think on this list was definitely non-negotiables, things you needed to have, and things that I didn't include that you think I should have. All right, guys, we'll see you again next week. Bye.